Hey there, this is Antenna Oracle back with another reading. This is for a new series I'm doing called Love Dynamics. This is going to be in relationship to how earth signs and fire signs in relationships or more prospective partners are viewing each other and kind of the upcoming energies for the next couple of weeks here. With that being said, we're going to be doing headspace, heart space, likely outcome for the earth sign on the left, and we'll do headspace, heart space, likely outcome for the fire sign on the right. And then we'll do a combined likely outcome down the center. And we'll be pulling from all four decks here that I have. With that being said, I do not read any reversals. I have included a PayPal link in the description box as well for anyone that would like to donate to the channel just to help it grow. I am looking to try and maybe increase the quality of the audio for the channel, just because I feel like currently it comes across a little echoey from my room, so maybe something that doesn't pick up all the external sounds and everything like that. All right. I hope everybody's been doing good, getting into this new Taurus season and everything like that. This is going to obviously be for some of the Tauruses out there, as this is for earth signs. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and then Leo, Sagittarius, Aries on this side here. All right. All right, so for our earth signs here, we have the Two of Pentacles with the Six of Cups showing up in the headspace. That talks about kind of this choice between being made here. There may be a couple of people right now for earth signs having to try and pick between, and this may be affecting how they're viewing their situation with the fire sign. It looks like we have some influence of somebody from the past potentially coming in that they're trying to balance out their emotions with. So either this could be the fire sign coming in from the past and causing them to reflect on that, or this could be somebody outside of that and them having to reflect between their situation and relationship with this fire sign over here. We have in the heart space the Seven of Pentacles with the King of Pentacles here. So basically the earth signs are kind of feeling like their situation has grown. They've been putting in a lot of energy, and they're starting to really see that this is kind of a stable connection between the two of them. But it hasn't grown, or isn't growing as fast as what they would hope. And that's really what I'm kind of picking up here in this Seven of Pentacles. We see this guy kind of almost looking like he's like slightly disappointed in his crop. You can see that it's growing, but it may not be growing as quick as what he's hoping. And that's really the energy that I'm picking up here on this card. So it is that we have some sort of stability starting to grow between the two of them, but it doesn't appear to be happening as fast as what the earth sign is hoping for here. We have the Knight of Cups and the Strength card here. So the likely outcome is that they're going to find the ability to basically move forward with some sort of emotional message. Whether that be to this person or the other person that they're kind of juggling between, or even both potentially, and basically relaying emotions. And emotions don't necessarily have to be all like, oh, I love you, lovey-dovey. It just could just be an expression of emotions. Hey, I'm feeling this way, and so on. So for the fire sign, we have in the headspace here, we have the World, and we have the Seven of Swords here. So this talks to me about some sort of karmic cycle, karmic chapter coming to a close, as the World is the ending of the session. It is a very positive thing because this talks about the ending of karmic cycles and the ending of having to deal with certain things. And when we're looking at the Seven of Swords, this typically talks about cheating, deception, sneaking around, lying, things like that. But in this, there's a new birth that comes from it. So it's almost like there may be a little bit of chaos or discomfort with it, but it helps close out this entire chapter here. And in the heart space, we have the Two of Cups with the Eight of Wands. So this talks about them potentially having some sort of communication. Could be the communication with the earth sign coming in regards to the relationship, how the relationship dynamic is coming, how it's playing out, what they're expecting, where things are likely to go, right? So this is communication, obviously coming from an earth sign over to a fire sign, and kind of clearing things up. In the likely outcome we have for the fire sign, we have the Death card and the Queen of Wands showing up. So to me, this could be the ending of a situation, and maybe an ending for new birth potentially. I think with this juggling here that we have represented in the Two of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords being represented over here, to me it's like this is probably coming to a close, but it may come to a close just temporarily for the situation to be rebirthed, or that this person may actually just finally be, the fire sign may finally be done with this situation in reflection, that they're either finding their own passion, they found somebody else that matches their frequency better, or that they're just kind of reconnecting to their own passion. That's kind of the energy I'm picking up here off of this. Let's pull some more cards for clarifiers here and see kind of what we have coming up. Ooh, well, we'll take all three of those. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I'm going to need one more card here. So if you guys are interested in me actually pre-laying out the cards to save time for these readings here, so you're not having to watch me go through all the cards, please leave a comment in the comment section, and I'd be happy to do that for future videos in the interest of saving time for everybody. Let's see what we have shown up though. Okay. So, underneath the headspace for the earth signs here, we have the Seven of Swords and we have the Empress showing up. So to me, this talks about almost this feeling of either like cheating or sneaking around or deceptive behavior, kind of playing out in this earth sign's mind. And this could be very much like emotional cheating or emotional thoughts of somebody else. Obviously, depending on each situation, it's going to be different, as this is a general reading. But there is somebody else here that they see as a real potential for them, even if they are currently in the intermix of this this dynamic between the two, the earth sign and the fire sign, right? In the heart space, we have the Ten of Swords and we have the Eight of Cups showing up here. So there is some form of feeling like they're betraying the potential fire sign. And, but in that, it's like they know that they need to walk away from the situation. They know that emotionally they're not invested necessarily in this connection over here. And that's just something that they're starting to realize that they need to walk away from this connection and move on. Because in the likely outcome here, we have the Ten of Cups and then we have the Page of Swords. So this talks about them needing to relay this message basically between the emotional counterparts. I'm in search of this more fulfilling situation. I'm in search for higher emotional happiness, and I'm not receiving it necessarily from this connection or this situation. And with that, we have the Page of Swords being represented. So there's some understanding that this may cause some arguments, there may be some turbulence, or maybe that's just really where they've been at, and that is an understanding that this is actually limiting the happiness that is potentially for the earth signs over here. So under the fire signs, we see that we have the Death card and we have the Two of Swords showing up here now. So this talks about this ending of the situation, of potentially feeling cheated, potentially being a second option, and really, you know, feeling like it's finally time to close this out. You know, there's been too many situations, or feeling like they're second fiddle, and you know, having to make a choice, or feeling like they're being picked between, really is kind of the feeling I'm getting. You know, like they have this person and then they have this other person, their prospective partner, the earth sign over here, has two different people, and they're feeling like they're constantly in a battle between the two, you know, persons. It's almost like they're fighting a ghost here, is kind of the feeling that I'm getting. Underneath the heart space, we have the world and the sun. So this talks about the ending of this cycle, this communication coming through, and as this major chapter closes out, it ultimately brings in more clarity and happiness for them. This talks about, you know, really letting go of a lot of the stress, anxiety, and everything like that. They may have just, you know, convinced themselves doesn't even exist here, or that they've just been dealing either privately. I feel like that they may be more of a pride thing, that they're trying not to display, potentially. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting. Because we have over here underneath the Death card with the Queen of Wands as the likely outcome, we have the Seven of Wands showing up and the World card. So this talks about them, you know, finally being able to stand their ground, you know, to what this situation has been and that may not have been serving them. You know, they're in search of something that's better, that fits their role more dramatically, like karmically speaking. So they're finally willing to stand up and say, hey, you know, enough is enough. I'm ready to, you know, move on from this connection, and the karmic cycle is ready to be done. It's time for me to find something else that better fits me. It is really kind of the role I'm seeing. So the likely outcome between the two of them. Communication, obviously. There is, being represented in the Eight of Wands, we have communication coming through between both of them. So there's obviously some sort of conversation that needs to happen or is going to happen and play out. The communication, though, is about, you know, kind of ending this burden, ending this feeling of it being totally overwhelming, it being something super stressful, and, you know, basically just feeling the weight of the entire connection is really what I'm feeling here. Obviously, this reading isn't going to be for every person out there, as it is a general reading. And a lot of my readings kind of hit a specific crowd. So if this doesn't fit for you, you know, don't try and make it fit. This is obviously just one of those readings that is meant for some very specific people that are going to get in touch with this channel. We have the Two of Swords and we have the Page of Wands showing up. The Two of Swords talks about, you know, them having to make this choice about, you know, just kind of both people needing to make a choice, and the choice is, you know, either obviously stay together and try and make it work, or cut this and completely go. But whichever choice is made, it's really, there is no going back kind of thing. And I feel like with everything that we're seeing here, it looks like there's probably been a few times that they've previously chosen to try and make it work, and they keep ending up back at this Two of Swords area. That's the feeling I'm really picking up off this, is that it's been multiple times and they've tried this path several times and they just keep ending back up at this Two of Swords. So we have the Page of Wands here. This Page of Wands talks about really moving on and kind of leaving things behind, but at the same time in search of, you know, something that has more passion, so they can go relay something that has more passion and kind of following their dreams, so to speak. I don't know if you can kind of see that well enough, but you have a lady in the background, and this guy's got his back turned to this lady and is walking off in search of, you know, chasing their dreams, essentially. So if you've been seeking guidance, seeking clarity, this is your reading, and I hope this has helped. Please, guys, leave likes, comments, shares, and subscribes for the channel. It really helps it grow, and I'd appreciate it greatly. Plus, it's good karma. Thank you.